Well, that's exactly right. You know, the USF, their athletic program, really enjoyed the national spotlight over the last several years in a couple of different ways. Outstanding academics, we heard about that from Dr. Ginshaft earlier, but the sports programs, when Frank comes over here, he's going to be talking sports with you, but I mean, it's really grown a lot. Doug Woolard, USF Athletic Director, good to have you here, Doug.
Kathy, thank you. Thanks for having me.
I'll just step into the shot. How's that?
How are you? Good to see you again. Thank you.
He was just telling me all the very, very cool things that are going on. How many student athletes
we have nearly
now?
500 student athletes with 19 varsity sports, certainly, and as you all know, in the Big East Conference. So,
men and women, obviously. Doug, you came here. You followed the late great Leroy Selman, and you've given Leroy tons of credit, especially for the launching of the football program back in 1997.
Yeah, exactly, and I couldn't give him enough credit. We actually renamed our building. I think you know that. We had an athletic center that was called, the USF Athletic Center. Now it's the Leroy Selman Athletic Center. And I said my hope is that when every student athlete leaves that building on a daily basis, they remember what Leroy stands for. I've never had anybody that has more integrity than he does. And I said if our student athletes and even our coaches and our staff, if we could be a little bit more like Leroy every day, we'd leave that building. This would be a better world. You're
really proud of your coaching staff, and I think of course, Stan Heath and Skip Holtz, basketball and football. Ken Erickson, your softball coach, is one heck of a coach. He's done a great job. He was actually the United States Olympic pitching coach, and now he's the U.S. softball national coach and has been coaching the national team. And he took a team to be in the top 8 in the United States as we made the College World Series in softball for the first time ever last year. Wow, wow. Football season's about to kick off. Football season starts Saturday. They've been working certainly extremely hard. I think we're going to have a great year. We've got a very good schedule. We open Saturday with UT Chattanooga, and then we travel to Reno and then come back for a Thursday night ESPN game with Rutgers. Florida State is on our schedule here at home in Tampa. We travel to Miami as well as the Big East Conference. So this is probably the most difficult, but I think the most attractive schedule we've had since we've been in the Big East Conference. We have your most visible athlete here in uniform today.
Really?
But yeah, he's here. Well, there he is.
Here. How about this?
Hey, Rocky the Bull. Not Rocky the Squirrel, Rocky the Bull.
Hey, Rocks.
Hey, Rocky.
How are you?
I'll have Doug interpret for you. Rocky's not allowed to speak. Now, I wanted to talk too about, this is an urban campus, quite obviously. Different than when a university is really the town and is the franchise. So here you're competing, in a sense, with professional sports. Obviously the Bucks and the Bolts, right, and the Rays. What kind of challenge does that present? I look at it a bit differently. I think that we supplement that, and it's a bit of a different product. It's one that certainly has the college atmosphere, the heartstrings, I think, and when you go to college athletic events. And I look at it as a real complement to the other opportunities, the other sporting opportunities that are here in Tampa Bay. And I want people, when they mention those pro franchises, I wanted to mention USF Bulls at the same time. We've just created some great new venues. Rocky's had a chance to be at them. Our soccer team beat Michigan on Friday night in the new soccer stadium, Corbett Stadium, on national television. And our women's volleyball team beat UCF on Sunday. We've created new baseball stadium, a new softball stadium. I was going to say, your on-campus facilities have improved dramatically in the last few years. People are going to be surprised when they see the Sun Dome this year, when they come on campus.
Oh, really?
I passed by it the other day. Just from the exterior, I could tell there have been major improvements.
Beautiful, brand new.
It's incredible. We've used the tagline, new day, new dome, and it really is. When people see it, it even surpassed my best hopes. 10,000 seats, all new seats, new center hung scoreboard, all new audio system, new concourses, a student club, maybe even have a place for Rocky. And so it really is a great facility. So.
Now, you were telling me while Frank was over there talking about the aquarium that the GPA of your student athletes has increased. Yeah. Like, you got some smart
We do.
people.
What we need to do is make sure we're providing the best partnership for all of our student athletes, both academically and athletically. And we started a program about 4 years ago where every one of our student athletes has a 13-inch MacBook Pro. And so they can be connected to the internet. We got MiFi cards for them. So when they're on a bus, when they're in an airport, when they're in a hotel, they can be connected to the internet. So we coined a phrase called anytime, anywhere learning. And then they can iChat or Skype back with a tutor or back with one of their advisors. And it's worked out really well, to the tune that last year, all of our student athletes, our overall GPA was a 3.03. Again, it's the highest it's been.
That is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's been,
That's
rewarding.
amazing.
It's very hard, I think, to play intercollegiate athletics, no matter what the sport, because of the travel commitment, the practice time. Now, I know that unlike professional sports, there are limits on how many hours a week, for example, a football team can practice, correct?
You're right. You can practice 20 hours in season during a week, and you know, it is hard to juggle it, and I think that you know, the technology that we put in place has really been beneficial for them.
You now play your football games in a great stadium, Raymond James Stadium, which was 65,000 plus, and you've packed it for some of these Big East games, like a West Virginia coming in or whatever.
Yeah, it's the largest facility now, I think, in the Big East Conference, and as you mentioned, we've had great participation from folks in and around Tampa Bay. You know, we're the only Division I university in 3.5 or 4 million people, and they really have participated well with us, and it's a great place to play. We think that I think we're going to have a great year in football. And
I hope so.
You know, the teams we've got coming in, and the way that our team is prepared, I think we're going to have some great crowds.
The Big East Conference is going through some changes. You have some new members.
We do, and I think now it's not just a regional conference. We've just hired a new commissioner, Mike Oresco, who is a vice president for sports programming for CBS, and I think Mike's going to do a great job. And we've added, as you mentioned, SMU and Houston, Memphis, Temple, and UCF will join us in all sports next year. Temple this year in football, and we'll add San Diego State and Boise State, and then Navy in the year 2015. So now we've really become a national conference, one that really spans 4 different time zones, and I think that will help us in our TV negotiations and really help this league become you know, a national brand. Even the Big East, I think, is one of the best leagues in the country, and I think this national presence is going to even help it. So.
All right.
All right. Doug Woolard, thank you.
And Rocky.
And Rocky, good to have you
Go
here.
Bulls.
Thanks, you guys.
Thank you, gentlemen. All right. Well, be sure to tune in tomorrow for Front Row Tampa Bay to meet the man who never gave up in his quest to bring the Republican National Convention to Tampa Bay.
And we're also going to be talking to Tampa Bay Lightning owner Jeff Vinnick, who has brought his family, his company here, and has already invested millions of dollars in our community.
In fact, a lot into that building where they're having the Republican National Convention. Jeff Chase will continue with his top 10 things to do in Tampa Bay.
Blessed Dave and Alana will be out and about tonight with their cameras, so have fun out there, and we'll see you tomorrow.